She is lying to you, and she doesn't even realize it. Believe it or not, all women lie, even when they don't mean to. It's not malicious, it's simple biology and social conditioning. If you are waiting for a woman to look you dead in the eyes and say, "I want you," you will be waiting forever, not because she doesn't feel the desire, but because desire was never designed to be spoken. From childhood, women are trained to soften reality, to be agreeable, to protect harmony, to say no when they mean maybe, and maybe when they mean yes. Language becomes a mask long before attraction ever forms. That is why men who rely entirely on words get trapped. They listen to what she says, but they completely ignore what her nervous system is screaming, and while they wait politely for clarity, another man reads the silence and makes the move. Today, we are stripping away the politeness. We're going to examine 7 nonverbal, secret signals that bypass her conscious mind and reveal what she cannot safely admit. Once you see them, you won't unsee them, but I have to warn you, signal number 7 is dangerous. To the untrained man, it looks exactly like rejection. React incorrectly, and you lose her completely. React with composure, and the dynamic reverses entirely. Stick with me to the end, let's get into it. Signal number 1, the collapse of space. Every human being walks around with an invisible boundary. Psychologists call it personal space, roughly arm's length. It exists to protect the nervous system. When that boundary is crossed by a stranger, the body reacts with tension, the shoulders tighten, the breath shortens, unless, of course, attraction is present. When a woman is interested in you, she doesn't guard her space, she gives it up. She leans closer than necessary, she stands beside you, not across from you. She chooses the seat that reduces distance, not increases it. If there's a table, she angles around it. If there's a couch, she sits close enough that the separation disappears. This isn't a conscious decision, it's gravitational. Attraction pulls bodies together before the minds ever agree. There's a simple test you can use. While you're speaking, take a small step back. A woman who is neutral will stay exactly where she is, perhaps even relieved by the extra space, but a woman who is drawn to you will step forward without thinking. She is equalizing the pressure. Your absence creates a physical discomfort in her, so her body closes the gap. That movement is not politeness, it's instinct. Seneca wrote, "The mind is never right unless it is at peace within itself." When her body moves toward you, it is a sign of her mind seeking peace in your presence. Stop looking for words, and start reading the truth of her body. Signal number 2, nervous grooming. When attraction hits, the nervous system floods the body with energy. That energy has to go somewhere, so the body starts adjusting itself. Hair is touched, clothing is straightened, jewelry is fidgeted with, skin is smoothed. Most men dismiss this as a habit. They think she's just adjusting her necklace. She isn't, it's preparation. Her subconscious has detected a high-value stimulus, you, and is attempting optimization. She wants to look her best for you, even if she doesn't consciously know why she suddenly feels the need to fix her collar. But what matters most is where she touches: neck, throat, collarbone, inner wrist. These are vulnerable zones, areas associated with trust and exposure. When she draws attention to them, she's not fixing anything, she's revealing. She is unconsciously showing you the parts of her that are soft and unprotected. When you notice this, do not comment on it, do not interrupt, let the silence sit. That quiet moment where she adjusts herself while knowing you're watching creates a pressure that words would ruin. Epictetus taught, "No great thing is created suddenly." Attraction is not created suddenly either. It is built in these quiet moments, in the space between words, in the silence where her body speaks and you have the self-control to simply listen. Signal number 3, the fractured gaze. Eye contact isn't binary, it is patterns. The social gaze stays high, eyes to eyes, eyes to forehead. It's safe, it's neutral, it's how we look at coworkers and friends. But desire? Desire pulls the eyes downward, eyes, mouth, back to eyes. That triangular movement is not accidental, it's imaginative. She's visualizing closeness, she's looking at your lips and imagining what they feel like. But there's an even stronger version of this. She looks at you, you meet her gaze, and she immediately looks down, not sideways, down. That downward break is a signal of submission. Her nervous system overloads from the intensity of the connection and retreats. She feels seen. If you panic and look away, the moment dies. But if you hold your eye contact for just one extra beat, something happens inside her, a flicker of embarrassment, followed by curiosity, followed by intense tension. She now knows you noticed, and she cares that you did. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you hold her gaze with calm intensity, you dye her soul with the color of your presence. She cannot forget that moment because her body registered it before her mind could process it. Signal number 4, the controlled challenge. This is where most men fail miserably. When attraction rises in a woman, she may actually become difficult. She questions you, she teases you, she pushes back playfully, she might even disagree with something you say just to see how you handle it. Weak men interpret this as rejection. They get defensive, they explain themselves, they seek her approval, and they lose. She isn't attacking you, she's stress testing your emotional stability. Think about it. If a simple tease or a playful challenge unsettles you, how can she trust you with her deeper vulnerability? She wants to feel your resistance, but not your anger. She wants your amusement. If she teases you, respond lightly. If she challenges you, stay grounded. Do not argue to win. Do not explain yourself just to be liked. Hold your position calmly, with a smile. When she realizes she cannot shake your frame, respect forms. And for a woman, attraction always follows respect. Seneca wrote, "A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is." When you convince yourself that her challenge is an attack, you become reactive and unhappy. But when you recognize it as a test of your masculinity, you become calm and grounded. That groundedness is exactly what makes her feel safe enough to want you. Signal number 5, exclusionary focus. If you want to know how she really feels, watch her in a group setting. This is where honesty lives, because group dynamics are harder to fake. If her feet point towards you while others are speaking, that's orientation. Her body is subconsciously aimed at the prize. If she filters out the noise of the room just to hear your voice, that's prioritization. But the strongest sign of all? She turns her back to the group to face you. That is a massive social risk. She is closing the world out to open a private channel with you. Phones disappear, time compresses, her awareness narrows. If she ignores her screen, if she doesn't look around the room, you have her attention fully. Attention is the most expensive currency there is, and she is spending it all on you. When she gives you that kind of focus, how you react matters. If you panic, if you overtalk, if you fill the silence with nervous chatter because you can't handle the intensity, you will break the spell. But if you remain calm, grounded, and present, you demonstrate that you are a man who is worthy of her undivided attention. Signal number 6, lingering contact. There are 2 types of touch, functional and intentional. Functional touch is quick and firm, a high five, a brief pat on the shoulder. It's friendly, it's neutral, and it means nothing. Intentional touch lingers. It uses soft surfaces, it avoids recoil. She brushes your sleeve and doesn't pull back immediately. Your knees touch under a table, and she doesn't move hers away. Your hands meet, and her fingers remain against yours for a second longer than necessary. That lack of withdrawal is the entire message. She's testing the temperature. She initiates the first rung of physical intimacy and waits. Escalation is collaborative. She opens the door just enough for you to step through. If you don't step through, if you recoil or act like nothing happened, the window closes, and it rarely opens again. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." When she touches you, she is not asking you to argue with yourself about whether she likes you. She is showing you. Be the man who reads that showing and responds with calm confidence. Signal number 7, passive availability. This is the dangerous one, the one men misread constantly. She appears near you repeatedly, same bar, same hallway at work, same exit timing, but she doesn't approach you. She looks busy, distracted, neutral. She might even seem slightly aloof. Most men interpret this as indifference. They think, if she wanted me, she would come talk to me. Wrong. This isn't indifference, it's positioning. She is placing herself in your orbit without initiating. Why? Because initiation reverses polarity. If she chases you, she feels masculine. She wants to be chosen, not to do the choosing. She is making proximity easy, but she is making confidence a requirement. If you wait for a verbal invitation, nothing will ever happen, but if you calmly bridge the gap, the dynamic locks in instantly. Her presence is the invitation. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." When you see her passive availability, you don't need to be anxious about what it means. You stay present, you stay grounded, and from that groundedness, you calmly walk over and bridge the gap. That calmness is what makes her feel safe to finally drop her guard. So, what do you do when you start noticing these 7 signs? Do not speed up, do not talk more, do not reward her immediately by falling all over her. Slow down. If she leans in, lean back slightly. If she fidgets, stay perfectly still. If she breaks eye contact, hold yours, let the tension build. Desire does not grow from instant gratification, it grows from containment. You become dangerous, not by chasing her, but by holding the space. Epictetus taught, no great thing is created suddenly. Attraction is built in these moments of tension, in the space between her signal and your response. When you hold that tension without rushing to release it, you become a man of substance, and substance is what she truly craves. Here is the final truth: attraction isn't polite, it isn't logical, and it isn't verbal. It's physical, psychological, and deeply unconscious. Women don't want explanations, they want certainty, not loud, arrogant certainty, quiet, grounded certainty. The man who sees without asking, moves without apologizing, and acts without panic. You now have the lens, use it with restraint, because the loudest signals of desire never make a sound. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you realize that these signals are her unconscious biology at work, you stop trying to force attraction, you simply observe, respond, and remain grounded. And that groundedness is what makes you irresistible. Take these principles and apply them, not as cheap pickup techniques, but as a way of being. Become the man who sees the silence, who reads the body, who understands that desire lives not in words, but in the space between them, and watches women begin to gravitate toward you, drawn by something they can't quite name, but can't quite resist. If this shifted how you see your interactions with women, you're already ahead of the game. Subscribe to the channel, not because I asked, but because you recognize that this knowledge isn't common, and what comes next goes even deeper. Leave a comment below with the phrase, "I see the silence." Let me know you're out there, doing the work, mastering yourself. I'm Tony. I'll see you where the noise stops.